Onto your next opponent, Elecman. In this level, you're traveling up constantly. At the beginning, whip out your new toy, the rolling cutters, and throw them at these horned air hockey hand wands. Otherwise, you may struggle getting up to the next screen without taking damage. When climbing the ladder up here, these green guys will show up. Fire as soon as you see the eye socket thingies extend, because they fire right away. And one shot could send you careening off the ladder where you'll have to go through all that shit again. The infamous magically appearing blocks that will be a recurring theme in Mega Man games to come. Although I really think that they're narrow beams that expand from the wall, but what do I know? Head over to the right side unless you really want those weapon capsules over there. Do not go after this health capsule, no matter how dire your need of life is. It's not worth risking the inevitable death and trying to escape. Now up here is where you get that important item by using the power arm that I mentioned earlier. You pick up these 3 blocks and grab the magnet beam. When equipped with this beast, you can create a platform for yourself to help you reach higher places or to help get across tricky long distance spots. Soon after, you'll get to Elecman's lair, but you gotta contend past this cocksucker first. You don't really have enough time to get enough shots in to take him out, so try to run underneath in his high jump. And now on to Elecman. This guy is really difficult if you use your normal arm cannon. Yeah, he's almost damn near impossible. Equip your rolling cutters and leap up onto these blocks. His thunder beam will do a lot of damage, so try to jump over it while keeping your distance from him and keep throwing your cutters. It only takes 3 hits to kill him, but his weapon and his speed are dangerous. If you time it right, you can get 2 shots with 1 blade if he crosses paths with it on the rebound. When he's done for, you'll get the best weapon in the game, the thunder beam. This thing tears shit up. It does a lot of damage, it covers a lot of ground, it doesn't take up much weapon energy, and it goes in 3 directions, up, down, and forward. Because the beam is so long, there's the infamous pause trick, which lets you basically cheat. By pressing select, you can pause the game without disturbing the screen, freezing the sprites, and allowing you to admire the graphics. By doing so with the thunder beam, you can pause, unpause, and quickly repause over and over again, allowing the beam to hit the target a few times in one shot. Anyway, onto the next nemesis, Iceman. Now, is it just me, or does Iceman seem like the only robot master in the game that doesn't look very robotic? He just looks like a garden variety Eskimo. But onto the level, which, judging by the frozen palm trees, looks like it was a tropical area, or maybe took place in Florida until Iceman decided to freeze everything. The level is short and it's pretty simple until you get to about the halfway point where you have to ascend the magically appearing blocks. First, use your rolling cutter on this guy and follow the pattern like so. Same thing over here. Cut the little bastard with the blade and hop up the blocks as shown. Now, this next part is a bitch and a half if you don't have the magnet beam. You have to leap across these flying platforms one by one, while at the same time avoiding their attacks from the ears. Yeah, fuck that shit. Take that magnet beam, extend it as far as you can, and run. The higher up the better, as it will probably keep you out of harm's way. Ugh, this asshole again? Ah, fuck. That jump isn't too predictable because there's no real pattern that he follows. Next up is Iceman. He attacks by hopping into the air slowly while spitting out arrows of ice at you at 3 various heights. The ice is just as slow as he is, so watch and try to squeeze your way in between his attacks while firing off the thunder beam. It only takes 3 shots to kill him, but don't get too careless and let his ice slasher do you in. Even after killing him, the shots you already fired will continue to travel and they can kill you if your energy is low enough. You get the ice slasher from him, which is a pretty neat weapon. It's fast and it freezes enemies in place, which really helps when going up against this prick. But first we gotta take care of one more robot master, Fireman. Now this guy has one of the more challenging levels in the game. As you might expect, you'll run into a variety of fire-oriented obstacles, like these thrusting flame sticks, and these 3 fireheads that fly out of the lake, burning flames and coast back down slowly in scattered directions. Don't they look kinda like Fry Guy from Super Mario Bros. 2? Or at least the miniature Fry Guys that appear after you kill them? A little bit? Anyway, be patient with these flame sticks and fire beams. Wait for them to pull out of your way one at a time to keep yourself from getting damaged. Now if you don't have the magnet beam at this point, you're going to take damage, whether you like it or not. There's no way you can walk through this shit without getting hit. Use the beam to give yourself a little shortcut. Then get out your rolling cutter so you can wipe out these guys, and give yourself a chance to avoid the bullet dudes. Be careful of the flame sticks right before the gate to Fireman's lair, and get your ice slasher ready for him. Now, there's no way you can earn a flawless victory over Fireman, but he's not too hard. He goes all out with a barrage of fire streams, so just keep firing your ice slasher constantly while trying to jump over as many of his attacks as you can. If you get close to him, he'll grow weary and try to run away, opening up the door for some more shots. Also, avoid the little ball of fire that settles on the ground. You get the Firestorm weapon from him, which is a combination of a ball of fire projectile and a shield. Even though it doesn't really protect you, it just does damage to anything in its path. So now all the Robot Masters have been defeated. It's now time to go after the traitor, Dr. Wily. Now, this is kind of funny here. He waves his little spaceship to fly itself over to where he is. Look, no one's inside. The goddamn thing runs on autopilot. Or maybe it's robotic and has a mind of its own. I mean, it is the future. And now we're off to the final 4 levels of the game. And right away you gotta deal with this piece of shit that we love so much. But that's not enough. Just to give you a taste of how much more challenging the Wily levels are in comparison to the Robot Masters, you have to go through 3 in a goddamn row. Shooting them with the arm cannon or trying to run underneath them is a bad idea here. Grab your trusty ice slasher and freeze them in midair when they do their high jump and run underneath them. This part up here with the flame stick sucks. Trying to jump out and straight up is tough as shit. So the best bet is to use your ice slasher to freeze the fire as it's almost back into the ground, and you can use it as a stepping stone. You might just get lucky enough to freeze the first 2 in the right spots, which are the 2 difficult jumps to make. If you need that life capsule up there, you're gonna have to get through those blocks. The only way to get through them is to use your thunder beam from underneath and your magnet beam to climb up. And speaking of the magnet beams, when you get up to this part, you're gonna want to do the same thing you did in Iceman's level. Fuck these platforms with the eyeballs. Use the magnet beam as a bridge to get past all this crazy shit. If you need to stock up on weapon energy, climb this ladder and climb back down, and these weapon capsules will respawn infinitely. When you decide to climb up, you better have your magnet beam to make some platforms to get up, otherwise you'll be completely stuck here. But if you fucked up, don't reset the game. Just commit suicide and pick stage select, and go back to Electman's stage and get the damn beam. I forgot to mention that you can re-enter the stages of the defeated Robot Masters. So after this area, you'll arrive at the boss. Or maybe it's an empty room. Well, the room isn't empty. These pieces of metal will fly from the left side of the screen, forming the rock monster. You need to shoot his eye with the thunder beam, but you barely get any time to hit him before he dismantles piece by piece again and heads to the other side of the room. His eye changes location too, just to throw you off a little bit more. If you just want to get by this bastard, then use the pause trick with the thunder beam. But if you want to beat it without feeling the guilt of cutting corners, then good luck. The second Wily level has a lot of floating platforms with jumps that bait you to rush into them and get hit by one of these little pricks. Stand on the edge and make sure the coast is clear before you jump. There's an illusion floor over here, so jump over it if you want the weapon capsules. Otherwise fall in, where you'll do battle with old friend Cutman. You can't use the power arm on him since there are no blocks, but use the arm cannon with the strategy of keeping your eye on the rolling cutter. A little while later you'll run into a similar area, but the illusion floor is in a different spot, and Electman is your next opponent. Use the rolling cutter again, same shit as before, only there's no blocks to stand on. After taking him out, these exploding bombs from Bombman's level return, but unlike the last time, you don't get that wall to guide you on where to stand. Instead of trying to squeeze your way in between, back away from it altogether and run fast to make the jump before it comes back up. Later on, use the thunder beam to blast under the floors and take out these suction cup guys so you don't find yourself slipping down to take a few shots at a time. The thunder beam proves useful throughout most of the remainder of the level as well.